Hello, it's Keri Murphy and welcome back to Inspired Living. I think it's pretty safe to say that we all have good days and bad days, right? But sometimes those bad days can make us feel like we're having a bad life. And that's something that I'm constantly thinking about whenever I'm presented with a challenge. Is okay, this is a challenging day, but it certainly doesn't mean that I have a bad life. I believe that there's always something to smile about. But sometimes, despite your very best efforts, trying to live the most inspired, happy, fulfilled life that you can, you're just not feeling joy. And I believe there are 4 things that are the main culprit of taking that joy away from you. And the first one is the fear of missing out. Now, of course, I love me some social media too, right? But if you're not feeling very joyful, probably the last thing you want to do is hop on over to Facebook and see how fabulous everyone's life is. I mean, let's face it, people only post on Facebook what they want you to see. But the fact of the matter is, we all struggle. We all have bad days. So be careful that you're not looking at what everyone else is posting and letting that affect your life and making you feel like you're missing out. Because the only thing you're missing out on is what's happening right now. The second thing that I think can really steal our joy is when we're just working to pay the bills. Whether you are working a 9-to-5 job, you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Our work is what takes up the majority of our day. So if you feel like you're only working to pay the bills, then that's just such an unfulfilling place to be. So how can you shift your mindset from that dread of maybe going to work every day and finding something about the position in right now that you really like? Maybe it's time to write out that gratitude list about your job. And if you're not enjoying it, the only person that can change that is you. And maybe it's not something you can do right now today, but it is something that you can look at. And whether you can find joy in that environment that you're in, or you can find something else that will really fulfill you. Maybe it's something outside of your job. Maybe you can look at taking on a hobby or something that you enjoy. But most of our days are filled with doing our work. So is your work fulfilling to you? And if not, could that be what is stealing your joy? And I think so often when we do want to create something different, right? Whether it's big or small, right? We wait for that perfect time. We wait for the time that the universe and the ducks are all in a row. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There's only the time that you decide is perfect. So if you have been waiting to create this joyful thing, this opportunity, maybe it's this new career for you or a new relationship, but you've just been waiting for that perfect time, I really encourage you to make the time perfect now. Because that's all we have is right now. And the 4th culprit that may be stealing your joy is that you're trying to do everything right now instead of taking those little steps to get there. Maybe you've started a business and it's not as successful as you were hoping it would be. Or maybe you are in the middle of a blooming relationship. Whatever it is, when we're trying to accomplish a really big task and we haven't set ourselves up to reach the small ones first, then it just seems overwhelming and daunting, and before you know it, there's no joy and we're completely giving up. So what can you do? Instead of trying to eat the elephant, what can you do to just take that first step today? So is it the fear of missing out for you? Is it perhaps that you're only working to pay the bills? Maybe it is that you're waiting for that perfect time to do what it is that you feel like you're called to do. And perhaps you're trying to do it all too soon. So this week, I just ask you to take a moment and check in. Be present right now and figure out what it is that maybe is stealing your joy. One of the things that I really recommend is when you get up in the morning, just take 10 minutes. Read something, put on some inspirational music that fills your soul. maybe take a moment to really look at all the things that you do have to be grateful for. And throughout the day, when that challenge comes up, because you know it will, take a moment and go, this is just an isolated event. This is not my life. And thirdly, before you go to bed, take a couple of minutes and read something that maybe fills your soul, or journal all the great things that have been going on. At the end of the day, the only person who gets to choose how joyful you are is you. And sometimes it's just taking that little mind shift, that little mindset, and deciding, am I gonna keep giving my power away? Am I gonna keep letting other people and other things and outside circumstances steal my joy today? Or am I going to commit to being joyful because I can? So I would love to hear from you. Are you in a place right now where you just feel like no matter what you do, you cannot find that joy that you're looking for? If so, post a comment and let us know so we can support you. And if you are in a happy place, we would love to know what fills you up, what makes you joyful, and put that down in the comments below. Nothing makes me happier than reading your comments every week and feeling like this inspired living community is really there for each other. Because when you are inspired, you inspire others. I hope you have an amazing week, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon.